you're looking to dive into topics on how to live a happier, healthier, more fit, and long lifespan, then you've come to the right podcast. Living the Dream with me, Coach Damian Evans. Together, we will explore the topics on all things health, fitness, and wellness. Together, we will be lifelong learners on this journey to living the ultimate dream. What up, Dream Team? Coach D here, coming at you from beautiful sunny San Diego, and welcome back to the Living the Dream podcast. Today, we're going to cover the topic of training to help you reach for your health, fitness, and wellness goals, and in order to live your dream life. Yesterday on Mindset Monday, we kicked off this week's focus by asking one very important question. How's the water? We talked about how the environment surrounding us quietly shapes our habits, our thoughts, our health, and eventually the person who we become. Today, I want to bring that idea directly into the world of fitness. Because after coaching people for years, I've become convinced of something, and that is the workout begins long before the first repetition. It begins when you decide where your shoes live. It begins when you choose which gym you're going to go to. It begins when you put a workout on your schedule, on your calendar. It begins with the people who you spend time with. It begins with whether movement feels convenient for you or maybe more complicated. It begins with the environment that either carries you toward exercise or forces you to fight your way there. Your environment is always coaching you. And when it comes to fitness, that coach may be more influential than you realize. Over the past few months, we've been going through a major revamp at Sweat Circuit. We've improved our systems. We've changed parts of the studio. We've brought in new coaches. We've trained and onboarded new staff. We've made decisions about what equipment to buy, what equipment to get rid of, different programming, communication things, and the culture that we want to create. And one thing I keep thinking about is how much happens before a member even begins the workout. How much happens before a member walks into our studio? Think about the experience. A person walks through the door. Are they greeted by name? Do they know where to put their things? Does the coach make them feel seen and accepted and welcome? Is the workout clearly explained? Do they feel like they belong or that they're an outcast? Do they see people of all different ages and backgrounds and body types and ability levels working hard together? Do they hear encouragement? Do they feel judged or supported? Do they leave thinking, oh my gosh, I survived that? Or do they leave thinking, hey, I might be a little stronger than I thought I was? Those details, they matter so much. Because a gym is never just a room full of equipment. It's an environment that teaches people what fitness means. Some environments teach us that fitness is a punishment. Fitness is a punishment for what we ate or the actions we took or didn't take. Fitness is only for people who are already fit. Fitness means that you have to destroy yourself. Fitness means comparing your body to everyone else's or to your best body ever. But the environment that we try to create, that we create at our studio, it teaches something different. Fitness is something that you can learn. We are a student of life, but we are also a student of movement, a student of our own biology. Fitness is something we can learn. And I, who have studied it for a couple decades now, am still learning. And the more I learn, the less I know, I feel like. Strength belongs to everyone. Modifications are normal. Progress is so individual and personal. You can work hard without hating yourself. You can be challenged and supported all at the same time. When people spend enough time in an environment like that, it begins changing more than just their muscles. It changes their identity. They stop saying, I'm trying to become someone who works out, and eventually start saying, this is simply part of who I am. That is the power of environment. One of the most common things I hear from people is, hey, coach, I just need to become more disciplined. I know what to do. I just need to do it. I need to be more disciplined. Maybe I'll do it on January 1st when I find the motivation. Maybe. But before we blame discipline and motivation or lack of motivation, I think we need to examine the conditions surrounding the behavior. Because two people can have the exact same goal and require completely different amounts of effort to follow through. Imagine two people who both plan to exercise tomorrow morning. Two people, they both want to exercise tomorrow. The first person goes to bed late. Their workout clothes are somewhere in the laundry. Their shoes are in the garage. They haven't decided what workout they're going to do. The gym is so far away. They haven't booked any classes or any schedules. No one knows that they're planning on training. Their alarm goes off, and in that moment, their alarm goes off. They have to make 5 or 6 separate decisions before exercise can even begin. Do I have to get up? What am I going to wear? Where the heck are my shoes? What am I even going to do when I get there? Do I really even have enough time? I have so much I need to do today. I could just do it maybe later. I'll do it when I get off of work. Every one of those decisions creates friction. Now imagine the second person. Yeah, you know it. Their clothes are already laid out. They got their shoes ready to go by the door. They have their workout written down and planned out. They booked a class a week ago. They have a gym that is right next door to their house. Their friend texts them and says, hey, can't wait for the workout. Let's do it. And when their alarm goes off, there is almost nothing left to negotiate. They both have the same goal. They both were going to do the same workout, maybe. Different water. We often look at the first person and say that's a lack of willpower. And we look at that second person and we say they're naturally consistent. But sometimes the difference isn't character. Sometimes one person has created a current that carries them towards their goal, while the other one has created a current that they have to battle and swim against upstream every single decision. There's an important concept in behavior change called friction. Friction is simply the amount of resistance standing between you and an action. The more steps that are required, the more decisions that are required, the more time that is required, the less likely you are to follow through consistently. This doesn't mean that people are lazy. It means human beings naturally tend to choose the path that requires less immediate effort. We do it all day long. We use the closest parking spot. We choose the app that's already open on our phone. We eat the food that is ready that we normally eat. We repeat the routine we don't have to think about. It's a habit. It's easy. It takes no brain energy. So instead of judging that tendency, what if we could harness the power of that? What if we can design around it? We can make habits that we want easier. We can make the habits you want less of harder. If you want to walk more, maybe keep comfortable shoes somewhere visible and stack it with something that you already do, like eating a meal. If you want to train before work, maybe you treat your future self like your best friend and you prepare and lay everything out the night before. That's one of my favorite strategies. Listen to a podcast while I'm getting everything ready. I'm stacking learning. I'm stacking getting ready for the next day, setting myself up for success. If you want to do more mobility at home, leave a mat out on the floor instead of hiding it in a closet. In our living room, we have 2 yoga mats with blankets and pillows and foam rolling tools and massage tools, all sorts of things that are right there by our TV, right there by our couch. We have this big space in front of our TV where we can sit and do mobility. So I'm stacking something that may be sedentary and not so great for my physical health with something that I probably wouldn't do on my own. I'm not going to do a 10-minute mobility session before I do a workout at the gym or after I finish working out. If you want to stop skipping workouts because you don't know what to do, maybe I follow a written program. There are so many options, from the least effective, which would be like a Chat GPT program, which still works. You plug in your goals and say, hey, spit out a program for me. That's better than nothing. That's better than going to the gym without a plan, all the way up to a personal trainer who can personalize a program that is perfect for your goals. And somewhere in the middle, a group fitness program where maybe the programming is not super individualized, but it has all these factors of community and culture and normalizing fitness. If you want to stop skipping workouts because you don't know what to do, follow a written program. If you want to exercise after work, don't go home first and sit on the couch. That's not going to work out well for most people. Go directly to the gym. Every removed obstacle increases the chance that the behavior happens. The goal isn't to eliminate all effort. There's going to be effort. You have to challenge yourself to change yourself. You have to get uncomfortable in order to experience growth. The goal is not to eliminate all effort, but exercise should not be something that is so hard for you to attain. Yes, exercise should challenge you, but the goal is to stop wasting your effort on unnecessary obstacles before the challenge even begins. Here's one of my favorite ways to think about it. Save your discipline for the workout, not for finding your shoes. Guys, we only have so much mental energy. Don't spend your mental energy, your finite, super valuable mental energy, don't spend it repeatedly making decisions that could have been made ahead of time. What time am I training? Decide that before the day begins. Time block in a journal your next day. 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. What does that day look like? Write in time blocks of all the things that you need to do, all your appointments, all your tasks, all your responsibilities. Decide before the day begins. What workout am I going to do? Write it down. What do I need? Prepare it. Where am I going? Know the route. Know which route you're going to take. What happens if the full workout doesn't fit? Have a backup plan. Decision fatigue is so real. You know it. When you get home after a busy day of work and you turn on the TV and you can't even decide what to watch because you're so mentally fatigued from making decisions all day. Decision fatigue is real. And the more chaotic your life becomes, the more valuable good defaults become. A default is simply what happens when you don't make a new decision. At Sweat Circuit, when someone books their usual class, that class becomes part of the structure of their week. Monday morning might be upper body, Tuesday might be lower body, Wednesday might be core and conditioning, but they don't have to wake up and invent a new fitness plan every day. They know they're getting up, they're going to take the 6 a.m. class or the 6 p.m. class. They enter an environment where the workout has already been designed. The equipment is already there. The coach is prepared and ready to help. Other people are in the room already participating. That removes an enormous amount of friction. It also highlights something I think people underestimate. Sometimes the best fitness program isn't the theoretically perfect program. It's the program whose environment makes you most likely to return. Even the perfectly designed program and nutrition plan is not going to work for you if you do not do it. An inconsistent plan is far, far inferior than a consistent inferior plan. The greatest program in the world cannot help someone who never follows it. But a good, solid program inside an enjoyable, supportive, accessible environment, that can change a life. We also need to talk about cues. A cue is something in your environment that reminds your brain, oh, boom, this is what happens next. This domino falls. This is what's going to happen to the next domino. Your alarm can be a cue. Your shoes by the door can be a cue. A calendar notification can be a cue. Driving past the gym on your way home can be a cue. Seeing a text from your workout partner, seeing a kettlebell right next to your couch in your living room, these can all be a cue. Our environments are filled with cues, whether we intentionally choose them or not. The couch that you sit on cues you to sit and face that direction. What's in that direction? The television. The television cues you to watch. Your phone cues you to check it, ding after ding. And a bowl of snacks on your counter cues you to eat. But cues don't have to be negative. They can also support us. When you place your workout clothes beside the bed, you are sending tomorrow morning's version of yourself a message, a cue. When you book a class, you are creating a commitment. When you leave your water bottle beside your keys, you are attaching one habit to another. You are allowing the environment to remember your goals for you. And that's important because motivation fades and forgets. Your environment doesn't have to. I've watched people become dramatically more consistent after making what seemed like a very small change. They drank a glass of water first thing in the morning. They fill up a glass of water, put it next to their nightstand, and as soon as they wake up, they give themselves an inner bath. Maybe they move their workout to a time that they cannot miss. 6 p.m., too many excuses throughout the day to not take the 6 p.m., so I move to the 6 a.m. Yeah, I have to get up early. Yeah, it's not fun to get up early, but there are no excuses not to get that workout done. They joined a class where people knew their name and they vibed with those people better. They found a coach who they trust and makes them feel capable and strong. They started meeting a friend and did something together. They stopped trying to train at a gym that was so inconvenient, and they chose a shorter workout they could actually complete. They placed it on their calendar instead of hoping that somehow I'll just make some time somewhere. And suddenly, the behavior that once felt like a constant battle, it begins feeling more natural. Did they become a completely different person overnight? Eh, maybe some would argue, but I would say no. They changed the conditions surrounding the behavior. And once the environment changed, they were able to show up as the person they were trying to become. Your social environment may be the strongest fitness influence of all. Your social environment. Human beings are deeply social creatures. We look around to learn what is normal, what is expected and acceptable, what is possible, what people like us do. Roger Bannister ran a 4-minute mile, first person to do it, and no one had done it for years and years and years. No one had ever done it before. And as soon as he did it, a handful of people broke the 4-minute barrier. We look around and we see what is possible. If no one in your life exercises, training will probably look and feel unusual. If everyone around you complains about movement, about health, about being out of shape, you may start associating exercise as a punishment or not accessible. But step into a community where people celebrate getting stronger, where they ask, where were you when you didn't show up? Where they ask, what class are you going to take? How much did you lift on that squat? Where members encourage each other, and suddenly, movement becomes normal. And that's what I love about group fitness when it's done well. It doesn't have to be group fitness. It could be any kind of group. It could be any kind of finding a trainer or a class, any kind of thing. It could be you and one other person. But that's what I love about group fitness when it's done well. You're not simply just attending a workout. You're entering a culture. And culture is environment repeated through people. Culture is environment repeated through people. A great training community can give you accountability, but it also can give you something even more important: belonging. Belonging. We just want to belong. You stop feeling like you have to drag yourself into someone else's fitness world, and you begin feeling like you have a place there. Now, there is a healthy and there is an unhealthy version of social accountability. Healthy accountability says, we missed you. We believe in you. Come join us. Let's get stronger together. Unhealthy accountability says, you failed. You're weak. You should feel guilty. Shame may create action temporarily. Shame is motivating in some ways, but it rarely creates a healthy, sustainable relationship with movement. The right environment challenges you without making your worth dependent on your performance. You should be able to have a difficult workout. You should be able to modify an exercise, take a recovery day. You should be able to return after time away without feeling like you've lost your place. The best environments don't demand perfection. They just make returning easier. I think this is particularly important because everyone eventually falls off. Everyone. Vacations happen, illnesses happen, injuries happen, burnout happens. Work becomes chaotic. Your children and family, they need you. Motivation disappears. The question isn't whether your routine will ever be interrupted. We know life is gonna life. The question is, what kind of environment are you returning to? Does your workout space make you feel embarrassed because you've been gone? Or welcomed back because you came back? Do your people shame you or do they encourage you? Does your program require you to restart at an impossible level, or does it meet you exactly where you are? A supportive environment shortens the distance between falling off and getting back on. That that may be one of the most underrated benefits of a great fitness community. Another way environment shapes exercise is through visibility. What you see repeatedly stays top of mind. That is why hiding every piece of fitness equipment may work against you. You know you've done it. You've bought some sort of crazy fitness contraption or even maybe like a big treadmill or something, and it gets shoved into an office or into the garage and it becomes a clothing rack or a storage rack for something. I'm not saying your living room needs to look like my living room, like a commercial gym, but something as simple as leaving a resistance band visible or keeping a foam roller beside the couch or placing a pair of dumbbells somewhere easily accessible or having a written mobility routine written on the wall of somewhere that you hang out. All of these things can serve as a reminder. If you have to literally trip over a kettlebell to get to your coffee maker, it's going to make it pretty hard for you to not lift up that kettlebell. The same rule applies to outdoor movement. If your walking shoes are ready and the route is familiar, a 10-minute walk requires very little planning. If every walk requires you to find everything and search through your house and choose a route and blocking out time, the habit becomes harder. Make the smallest useful version visible and available. This connects us back to something that we discussed during our video game week. Start at level 1. Your environment should make level 1 almost impossible to avoid. Maybe your full workout is 45 minutes, but what is your level 1 backup? 10 minutes? 1 round? A walk around the block? 5 mobility movements, 10 reps each? Maybe 10 squats, 10 push-ups, and a plank. That smaller option protects the identity and the routine when the ideal workout doesn't fit. It prevents the all or nothing mindset because consistency isn't built by having perfect days forever. It's built by having an environment that gives you a reasonable next step on imperfect days. And I want to be clear about something else. Environment design is not manipulation in this negative sense. I mean, you're already being influenced. Your phone is designed to attract your attention. Restaurants that you go to are designed to increase consumption. The streaming platforms that you watch are designed to keep you watching. Retail stores are designed to guide you where to look and how to move. Your workplace has defaults. Your home has defaults. Your gym has defaults. The question isn't whether an environment will influence you, because it already does. The question is whether you will participate in designing that influence. You can let every environment make decisions for you. Or you can begin shaping spaces that support your intentions and your goals. So here's your Training Tuesday challenge. I want you to conduct a quick workout environment audit. A workout environment audit. Ask yourself, what currently makes exercise harder than it needs to be? And be honest. Is the gym too far away? And even if that's 10 minutes away, that can still be too far away for some people. Do you train at a time that is consistently conflicting with your life? Do you have no plan? Are your clothes never ready? Do you wait until the day is almost over? Do you beat yourself up for not showing up? Are you trying to do a version of fitness that you do not even enjoy? Are you surrounded by people who discourage your goals? Do you keep expecting motivation to create this magic amount of time that you never scheduled, but it'll somehow show up? Identify the biggest point of friction for you, and then and then make one change in each of these 3 areas. Once you have identified your biggest point of friction, first, remove one obstacle. Lay out your clothes, move the workout earlier, choose a closer gym, prepare the program, create a shorter backup. Remove one obstacle. Second, add one cue. Book a class. Place the shoes by the door. Set a calendar reminder. Leave the resistance band or the kettlebell visible. Attach the workout to something that you already do. Stack it. Add one cue. And third, add one person. Invite a friend. Introduce yourself to someone in class. Tell your coach what your goal is. Ask someone to expect you or to help you hold you accountable. Join a community where the behavior you want is already normal. Remove one obstacle, add one cue, and add one person. This is your mission for the week. I don't want you to leave this episode thinking, I need to try harder. I want you to ask, how can I make showing up require less unnecessary effort? Less friction. You will still have to do the work. Don't get me wrong. You will still get uncomfortable. You're still going to have to lift hard. No environment can perform the squat for you. No coach can build your muscle for you. No friend is going to complete your repetitions. But the right environment can help carry you to the starting line more consistently. And getting to the starting line is where so many battles are won. The workout begins long before the first repetition. It begins with your calendar, your clothing, your route, your equipment, your plan, your community, your expectations. It starts with your environment. So stop expecting willpower to rescue every day. Instead, take charge, take action, build a system that remembers your goals even when motivation forgets. Create a space that makes movement visible. Choose people in your life who make strength feel normal. Remove the obstacles that have nothing to do with the actual workout. Save your discipline for the moment that you need it most. Save your discipline for that last repetition, that difficult set, the moment when your muscles are burning and you decide you're going to keep going. Dream Team, your environment is always coaching you. Make sure it's teaching you to move. Make sure it's reminding you that you belong. Make sure it's helping you become the person you're trying to build. And before we close, we're going to ask ourselves again, how's the water? Does your environment make exercise feel like a constant fight, or is it beginning to carry you toward the stronger life that you want? Shape what surrounds you. Keep showing up. And as always, get stronger, live longer. And that's it, my friends. Thank you for joining me on this Training Tuesday episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Share the knowledge that you gain with your friends and family and hold each other accountable. If this episode inspired you, please share it with a friend who could benefit from what we talked about today. To support this podcast and help it grow, please subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. And it really helps if you could leave a review telling others how this podcast benefited you. Also, leave a comment on the episode letting us know what you're incorporating into your daily life. This is a real non-cost way to help get this important wellness content into more people's ears. Take a screenshot and post it on your social media stories. Tag me at livingthedream_podcast or at Coach Damien_SD and let us know what you're learning. Let us know what we missed. Let us know what we got wrong. We do want to know. Message us if you have any suggestions or tips that would help your Living the Dream team that we could discuss in future episodes. I will be right here with you, working on making us stronger, happier, and healthier humans. Until next time, friends, keep living the dream.